Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we're checking out a video from Reboss. That's the name of the YouTube channel. That's the name. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, that's where this video is coming from. And the video is titled, "Where Does Germany Put Its Fire Hydrant?" See, in America, pretty much, hydrants are literally just there on the streets. You see them every day, right? But I've seen something, right? I've never seen a fire hydrant outside of the United States. I've never seen it, in other videos I've watched. I've never seen like a big thing, you know how American fire hydrants are. I've never seen that, right, in other countries. Like when I see the videos, I've never actually seen those before, right? But I can give you a perfect example. I checked out a video in Australia and the hydrant was in the ground. And I was like, wait, what? It's literally not there. They actually have it in the ground, which is kind of impressive actually, because a lot of people can actually crash into the hydrant. Obviously, it's more accessible and easy to, operate, quick access, but at the same time, it's very much more vulnerable, right? So I'm not really sure what the Germans do. I'd imagine it's probably underground as well, since that's what I've seen in other countries. But without further ado, let's check out this video. I've checked out so many videos related to German firefighters, so why not, learn a little bit about the hydrant itself.
Where does Germany put its fire hydrants? And if you're a German firefighter, how do you know where to find them? Not that these are questions that most visitors to Germany will ever need to answer, but, well, it can't hurt to know. This video was inspired by a video by Gone Girl London, in which he talks about British fire hydrants and how different they are from hydrants in the US. If you're interested in the history and reasons behind the differences, you will want to see her video. There's a link in the description. But very briefly, if you're used to American-style hydrants, in Europe, they're done differently.
Let's talk about what happens in the UK, because there are so many hydrants around, but they're not visible because they're underground. The fire service has direct access to the water mains via these underground connections, so they are neatly tucked away underneath a cover that looks like this. In addition, these are often marked by these yellow H signs marking the distance and size of the pipe.
Germany is basically the same, but
I think I've seen that before in Finland, actually. I'm not sure, but I think I've seen one of those before,
with some differences in the details. Basically, the cover for a hydrant looks like this, with the word Hydrant very clearly spelled out just to drive home the message. And this is the sign for the hydrant. It looks a bit different from the ones in Britain, but it mostly conveys the same information. Let's break it down. The letter H, obviously, stands for hydrant, but another letter can be added to give additional information. For example, OH stands for an above-ground hydrant, which do exist in Germany, they're just not very common. The number next to the letter gives the diameter in millimeters of the pipe feeding the hydrant. That doesn't affect the size of the hydrant itself, that's standardized for obvious reasons, but it gives you an indication of how much water it can actually deliver. The other two numbers give distances in meters. The number at the bottom tells you how far forward of the sign the hydrant is, and the other number tells you how far to the left or to the right. So if we take this example, the hydrant will be found 3.1 meters in front of the sign and
2.5 to the right? To the right, because, yeah, to the right.
5 meters to the right. That is to say, right here. The same basic principle also applies to signs for other utilities and may indicate, for example, a stop valve or simply mark the course of an underground pipe or cable. The ones you'll see most often are blue for drinking water and yellow for gas. But occasionally you may see green for sewers, red for district heating, or white for high voltage electric cables.
Really?
But returning to the emergency services,
I would have never thought of that. Like, absolutely not. Like, obviously we see, on a day-to-day basis, you'll see things in the ground, with names on it. You don't really look at it because it ain't got nothing to do with you, right? Plus sewers and stuff like that. It's likely that drainage system, that's the thing that comes to your brain, especially for a guy like myself who is very in tune with building, if that makes any sense. So you already assume that most things that are in the ground is drainage or water, if that makes any sense, right? Some sort of in and out situation for water, right? But at the same time, I would have seen these things and I would have never understood it, especially for the sign with the distance to the left or right, or the distance that the hydrant is from the sign, which I think the sign is very clutch, like honestly, because like if you're not from that location, at least you'll be able to quickly locate the hydrant, because there's a sign there. And what if there's debris all over the hydrant? You are able to just get a tape measure and do your little math, and there you go, you're ready to go. So I think it's actually pretty clutch. Obviously in America you don't need like a sign because it's very visible, it's like so huge either ways. But at the same time, in America, it is very. How do I structure this? It's very unfortunate that it's visible, because a lot of people can be problematic and actually, like, unfortunately waste the water, or turn it on, or even crash into it, or hit themselves into it, like hurt themselves or something. Anything can happen, honestly, because it's so visible and it's so big and thick and it's just all in the way. So the European version is actually pretty clutch, honestly, the way how it's done.
As well as signs directing them to fire hydrants, there are other signs that are relevant to them that you'll find on or near big buildings, places like office blocks, shopping centres and theatres, for example. And it would be impossible for me to list all of them without boring you to tears. But here are a few of them, just to give you a general idea. This is actually an ordinary street sign indicating a no stopping zone, with the additional information that it is to keep the road clear for emergency access. The more specialist signs look like this. This one indicates an entrance intended to be used by the fire brigade and which must always be kept free of obstructions. These two signs are particularly common. The first indicates the main control unit of the fire alarm system, which controls things like the fire alarms, obviously, and fire doors, emergency lighting, and so on. But it also provides useful information for the fire crews. For example, it can tell them in which order the fire detectors were tripped, which helps them understand where the fire started and where it's going. The second sign here indicates the control assembly of the sprinkler system, which basically provides water for the sprinklers. But since it doesn't turn off automatically, the fire brigade has to do that manually, and in order to do that, they have to know where it is. This sign indicates an intake to supply, if necessary, water to the fire extinguishing systems installed in the building. There are fire hoses and hydrants at strategic points, and if for some reason there's a problem with the normal water supply, the fire brigade can pump extra water directly into the system. This indicates a similar intake, but specifically for the sprinkler system. There are a lot more indicates a similar.
I should have known that. It literally says sprinkler and sprinkler and Anlage? I'm trying to sound German. Sprinkle. Wow, I can't even talk. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sprinklag Anlage. I know it's Anlage. Sprangale. Sprinkler. Oh. Sprinkler Angale. Sprinkler Angale. No, I just don't think it's that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Whew.
Similar intake, but specifically for the sprinkler system. There are a lot more of these signs, but basically, if you see one like it, it's important information for the fire brigade. And that's enough, I think, for this video. Don't forget to follow the link in the description to Gone Girl London's video for more about hydrants in general. And now that you know how to find a German hydrant, well, I don't know what you can actually do with that information, but have fun with it anyway.
Please don't do anything with it. But shout out to my guy right here. A link will be in the description for his video. Rue Boss. I'm not sure what it means. I don't know if his name is Rue, but that's his name, Rue Boss. So shout out to him. A link will be in the description so you guys can go check out this video. I might check out Girl Gone London, her video, because it seems to be a little bit more in depth in terms of the European standard compared to the American. But the ones for Germany are pretty cool. They're obviously, I figured to myself that it was underground because obviously it literally stated that I literally stated that at the beginning of the video that I've literally seen an Australian version, and I was shocked that it was actually underground, right? Which is very smart, actually. It's quite safe for the community and for the people around, so it's not a problem. It's actually a beautiful thing. So shout out to this guy, Ruballs, and a link will be in the description so you guys can check out his channel. And thank you for watching. As usual, I'm out of here. Peace.